YouTubes and the Twitches. Doing something different today. As you can kind of see, my screen is a little different. It is not focused in on my face. Bet y'all glad to hear about that.
Well, I'm not actually seeing you streaming yet.
Give it a second. Hopefully.
My phone just said
Ring-a-ding-ding. And yes, I am in the community chat this afternoon because this is RelaxStream, and anybody who is in the Discord and has access to the community chat is welcome to join. We have something kind of special here. I dug through. This is for the archivists out there because there's nobody actually watching at the moment, except for D-Swank maybe. I went digging through my storage barn. Here, let me cut to scene proper. There we go. I really wish my camera, which is supposed to be a 1080p, had better looks, but hey, you know what? It is what it is. I found these. Techno Zoids. They're all dirty and nasty and barely work. So I am going to spend some afternoons cleaning them, disassembling them, cleaning them, and reassembling them, and see if that helps them work a little better. I'm starting with simpler ones. This one being Armored Gator, I think? Yeah, Armored Gator. Armored Gator. Come here, you. Get in the frame. Hellcat. And Terra. Or Terra Striker, or something of that nature. These are the smaller, simpler ones that I have. And the bigger, more complicated ones I have is Dark Pegasus, or Evil Pegasus. A lot in that one. But here we go. Let's get this booger taken apart. And hopefully I remember how to put them back together afterwards.
Now that will be humorous.
Just a little bit. So, while I go about this fun little venture, and it is at somewhat arm's length away from me so I can get it on camera, I had thoughts of topics of discussion while I am doing this. And one of them is my general history of modeling. I have been modeling, and not the kind of modeling that D-Strength's part of thinking, because I know he wants to make jokes of it.
Nah, I was not going to make a runway joke until already. And if I did, it was going to tie into a 747.
Alright, so let's see here. Let's keep, I can see what you, this is a left leg, front left. You can quit walking now. You see, this is what they did. They were mechanized model kits. The simpler ones just being a little wind-up critter like this, and the more complicated ones were battery-driven and even had electronics in them, which I think Battlesaurus and Iron Kong had. Close your mouth, man. There you go.
Okay, so these they were kind of like Lego Technic.
They were more like Gunpla is today.
Okay.
Gundam models. Most of it was snapped together and or using these little where you at right there? These little pegs here to hold stuff together.
See, I heard about Zoids. I remember seeing the show, but I've never seen these, so I know very little about them.
Right. These I don't know what the show was doing back in the late 80s, early 90s when these came out. But basically these are a precursor to the modern day Zoids. Again, called Techno Zoids. At least that's what they were called here in the States. But my modeling adventures started way back when I was but a wee pup of about 7 or 8, I think. And my mom and dad had bought me a blue Jeep Wrangler from Revel. Was that Revel or Revel? I don't know. I don't care. Model company.
You know what you need for this?
What do I need for this?
Next time you do this, you need 2 cameras.
When I can afford 2 cameras, I will get 2 cameras. I would like...
I have like 3 extra web cameras that I don't use.
Well, if I do this, and this becomes a thing, I will be investing in a proper HD camera to hook up to the computer, not a webcam.
Okay.
I was thinking about that today, actually, while on the forklift. if this actually panned out to be any... Get in camera, buddy. Panned out to be anything but a single-time thing here. But, let's see, what's holding it together?
It's completely out of frame.
Yeah, not it's back in frame, yeah. But, hopefully this does something. You never know.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was a blue Jeep Wrangler. I didn't put any paint on it. It was a snap type model, so there was no glue involved, nothing of that nature. And I had the time of my life putting it together. I loved it. I remember the block of the engine being relatively simple. I don't remember if this part here comes apart or not. Has to, because there's nubbins.
I still remember putting together like the Ghostbuster Ecto snap type model kit. But most of my model kits I was too impatient.
Aha! It does come apart. Yeah, you're gonna talk about impatient. Whoop, 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 easy. Now here's where parts are gonna get lost, and I'm gonna forget how they go together. Alright.
Like, so you have the internet.
There is the internet, yes. But you know, I doubt a lot of people honestly even remember these. I mean, Zoids are one thing. Techno Zoids are a completely different other thing from way, way back. I doubt you find too much online about Techno Zoids outside of the occasional review.
Yeah.
And there, ladies and gentlemen, is what drives this whole little booger right there. See that? Little tiny engine, little tiny wind-up thing. The little spring inside's probably all but messed up by now. But anyway,
choking on cat hair.
No, this is before the cat. long before the cat. But anyway, it all started with that blue Jeep Wrangler, and had a time of my life putting it together. Where's my rags at? And that's kind of where it started. And man, I collected so many models over the years. It was one of my favorites back then. Was a I always loved the model kit for the what was it? The 19. I don't remember what it was. Like a 67 or so. It was a Chevrolet. Oh hell, what was it? It was a Super Sport of some sort. Chevelle, I think it was. It was a Chevelle. Chevelle Super Sport. Love that model to death. It's the first one I started putting paint to.
Yeah.
And let's see, where's my files at? I need files to get nubbins off.
Files are usually right next to you.
Oh, there's one of them. This will do. That's my round one.
I'm just impressed with the size of that ear pick in the mason jar back there.
Yeah, that's an old toothbrush.
Okay. From this angle, without I couldn't see the ear brushes.
Mm-hmm.
Or the teeth brush part on it. I thought it was a giant Q-tip.
Nice.
You couldn't see the bristles on it?
Yes.
Can't. Came slightly unprepared. Go figure. So.
Either way, good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening. I will have to use my round one, which is probably not a good idea.
This is a rather interesting game.
Yes, it is. Yeah, it's an interesting game indeed. So, yeah, for years and years and years, I did plastic model kits out the wazoo. I had so many, I had like a wall lined with them. And it ranged from unpainted first ones all the way to, you know, like Star Trek model kits hanging from the ceiling. I got a knife in here somewhere, don't I?
Yeah, I think I had a D7 battlecruiser model.
Yeah, A, B, so Connie refit, D, Ferengi Marauder, D7, and
nothing up here.
Detrix.
So that's gonna suck. I'm gonna have to leave the nubbins alone for this session.
Well, the D7 battlecruiser that I got, the model, when they were pouring the molds, they had an air bubble
Ooh.
So part of the forward neck of the ship
Uh,
was missing because of an air bubble.
That
fun.
sucks.
No, it wasn't a D7. It was a bop. It was a bird of prey. It was a proper
There we go.
Klingon bird of prey.
Sounds
It's
a
pretty
Burrell?
nice and clean.
Yeah.
What's next?
No.
We need these bits here. So,
Because the Burrell was the most common class of Klingon bird of prey.
Well, in Next Gen era, that wasn't true during the motion picture era because they didn't exist. I am correct.
It's something very similar.
No, they didn't.
What was the class?
all right. So this
The Burrell was the
would go back
original
like
Yeah,
scout,
but
and
didn't they have a Burrell in the movies? I know that in a
Like
couple of
that.
the movies they had Burrells, like 5,
Yep. There we
Yes.
6,
yes,
4.
the cavort. See where the cavort came from is they
go.
used
Stream
that
is being
model.
hijacked.
No, we're still
I know,
talking about
I know,
models.
I know.
Where the cavort came from was that they screwed up scaling with
Ooh, that reminds me. When y'all finish,
it
I
being-
have this great thing about scale. When y'all are finished with this.
Okay. Well, see, we helped.
Yes, you did. I was gonna get
But-
there, but y'all just kind of
but-
segued it for me.
The models, they presented the Burrell too big.
So that's how
Like-
the Cavort came in, yeah.
Right, during Next Gen. Originally, it wasn't going to be there, but then they went, oh god, the fans are going to kill us. It's a cavort.
Nice.
And
Those aren't gonna
that's
stay there.
that's where the cavort came from. So they
All
didn't
right.
exist during the motion picture. And they wouldn't have existed except for an error in scaling.
So, speaking of scaling, I have a fun thing to actually show y'all here in just a second.
Oh god. Keep it
No,
YouTube friendly.
you nasty bastard. You nasty bastard. So, fun thing, Techno Zoids came with pilots. Do you got
Okay.
your pilot in you? Yeah, look, where's Gator's pilot? He's kind of chrome colored, easier to see. Open your mouth, Gator. There he goes. Here's a fun thing about scaling. I don't know if you can see, yeah, you can see Guff in the background back there. That is a high-grade Gundam model. Not a high-grade, a real-grade Gundam model. The about 6-inch tall ones.
That blue thing?
Yep, that's Guff. That's part of the Zaku evolutionary line.
Okay.
These pilots, a little bit big, but they are scaled pretty damn close to about the pilot. Maybe about a little bit smaller, a little bit bigger. I mean, the pilot and these guys would be about maybe half this size.
Yeah.
But the scale's pretty damn close to these. You could honestly put these in universe with your own toys and they'd be in damn scale just about. These guys.
Yeah.
I found that really fun and funny. And here's the thing. With the real grade stuff against one of the bigger ones, like what was that name? Dark Pegasus or Evil Pegasus. It's like it's off the screen. It's like a foot tall compared to this thing.
Yeah.
So a pretty neat little thing, I thought, that the little pilots actually brought scale into it.
Yeah.
And that they're really that small.
I
So
had
what scale is that Gundam model? Is that a...
That's a 1/144th real grade.
Ah, okay.
You got your real grade, which is 144s. You got your what was next? It was the high grade is next, I think, which I think ranged from 144 all the way up to 148, 1 and 4/8, whatever. And then you had the biggest ones, which were like 1 and 140 scale, a little over a foot tall. But somewhere I have a model of Zaku and the original Gundam from the original series in their high grade model kits,
nice.
assembled. And yeah, I'm definitely gonna need a better setup than this if I'm gonna keep doing this. But anyway, so for years and years and years, I did do car models, cars, trucks, airplanes, tanks, a little bit of
Planes,
everything.
trains, and automobiles.
Pretty much. And I loved it. I loved it so much, but I didn't have access to a lot of like magazines and stuff like that. So I didn't know about a lot of the techniques. I didn't hear about any of the paints. Nothing. I was just going in completely blind and just enjoying what I had.
Yeah.
And it was enjoyable. I didn't even get into like weathering and stuff until I started doing miniatures. And
God, I hate weathering.
I don't mind weathering. I enjoy it to some degree.
It's not bad, but when you have to do things that make it look like weathered wood.
Yeah,
I hate that.
I don't think I ever got quite that far in it. But anyway, in between the miniatures and whatnot, in miniatures and the cars and the planes and all of that and actual vehicles, I found Gundam. Roughly the time Gundam Wing was here in the States, we got those regular model kits that weren't really the real grade or perfect grade or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
They just kind of were the Gundam Wing models. They had a nice big fluorescent green clear parts for all the effects and stuff like that. I had all 5 of them. Loved them so much. And oh my god, did that sink me into the deep dark hole of Gunpla. I had so many damn Gundams. You need to quit. Cat. But modeling's been in my blood for a long time, and I never pursued it in great detail or great length, mainly because I was by myself doing it and I had nobody to talk to about it. All I had was just a model kit and I went. But yeah, since y'all here, let's hear about your modeling experiences.
I've been actually recently looking at a couple of battleship models at a local store because I like the warship models, as well as maybe some sci-fi models.
Yeah.
I don't build anything like what you've got there.
Right.
But back when I was younger, my parents kept getting me car models and stuff like that.
Right.
Because I lived in a small town, so we really didn't have much to do, and Dad has a big shop down in the basement, and he's down there working on woodworking and stuff like that, so I'd go down and learned how to use the bandsaw and all that stuff.
Right.
And so Dad didn't want me down there using the stuff when he wasn't home. Because, 12, 13, 14 years old working with power tools at the time.
Yeah, that was never fun.
Not safe, no. And so Dad was talking to Mom one day, and they decided they were going to start buying me model kits. And then they got me super glue. Not modeling glue, super glue.
Oh no. Oh no. No.
A lot of the original models that I had are very warped.
Oh, I have no doubt.
Because of the super glue.
Alright, so how do you come back apart? I had modeling glue. That citrusy smelling shit.
Yeah.
How did you come apart?
I never was able to use the good modeling, fortunately.
The good modeling?
Yeah, I was always stuck with the non-toxic.
The blue shit.
Yeah.
There's the red bottles and the blue bottles. You had the blue bottles. I had all the red bottles.
Matter of fact, I crafted my own model of sorts.
Get bash.
Yeah, that depends. Did he use multiple models to do it, or just all raw material?
Raw material.
That wasn't a kit bash then. That was straight up woodworking and or model making.
I built a 1940s Baleo class submarine in my welding class.
Nice.
Matter of fact, I've still got it in my closet because at the time I was taking welding and auto body shop.
Mm-hmm.
So I built the model in the welding shop, and then literally the next class, I went into the auto body shop and asked the same teacher who taught both classes
I know that feeling.
if I could use some of the car paint that we had extra, just kind of lying around. He was like, "Sure, what do you need?" I'm like, "I need black and I need silver." It's like, okay. Use the auto painting booth.
5.
So I went in, I painted the whole thing black, put on some silver highlights, and that was it.
Pretty cool. Yeah, we had teachers that double dutied for the elective classes like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a good model, but I'm proud of it because that was my first project where they said, do whatever you want. Right. And I think it turned out well. Matter of fact, I'll take a picture of it and send it to you once I figure out how to send that.
Throw it in Discord, man. Throw it right in the Discord. We'd like to see it.
Give me a second.
Mm-hmm. So, D-Swing.
So, Fuzz.
How about your modeling adventures? Because you sound like you said something about along the lines of train tracks or model trains.
Yes, I was very into it. My great uncle was even more into it. Like, he converted his house. So, like, he had trains that ran on shelves that went through rooms and that were up above the door in height.
Yeah.
And, like, cut holes in the wall so that the trains could travel through.
Nice. That's some dedication right there. I have actually met someone like that while on delivery. It's pretty damn cool, really.
Mm-hmm.
So is that as far as your modeling career went? You didn't,
No.
Oh, do tell, man. We got a stream to fill up here.
Let's see.
All right.
What all did I end up working with?
That's gonna come down on top of that. Happened there.
That was an odd noise.
I think he's shuffling stuff around.
I'm shuffling the model around.
Ah.
It is made entirely out of sheet metal.
Oh, wow.
Sheet metal. What I did a lot of kind of
Oh, excuse me.
Let's see. I did a lot of proxy type stuff. Like, there were toys and things that were several $100s that I couldn't get an equivalent for when I was really into dinosaurs, Jurassic Park, things like that. So
right.
like the Hide. I made my own version of that for the action figures. In high school, I built a huge amount of large ships. I mean, from battleships, submarines, things like that. For fleshing out an idea, aluminum and masking tape. Aluminum foil.
Oh, yeah.
You crinkle it up and shape it, and then masking tape over it, and then you can paint it.
Yeah, certainly.
I did a lot of stuff with that. Created one of Christopher Robin and Winnie the Pooh walking along, and Christopher Robin is holding hands with Winnie the Pooh.
Nice.
For a school project.
Yeah.
Did a lot of building spaceships, things like that. you saw that image I put in Discord with the Photoshop thing? With the ship?
Photoshop ship thing.
You know that big Orion ship that I'm building in Space Engineers?
Yes.
That's based off of a photoshopped image with 3 of them in it. The ship in Photoshop is a woodworked model that I built.
Ah, yes. I think you showed me an actual image of the woodworked item before.
I've got that. I've got a carrier. I've got a cruiser. I've got like half a dozen different ships from that universe that I've handmade models, and those are combinations of styrofoam, wood, and the air dry Crayola clay stuff, or foam stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's cheap and easily moldable.
Hey, cat, quit.
Let's see. Once I get somewhere, at least I used to. I don't know if I still do.
Of course, you try to swat him away, and he runs towards the shit you don't want him to run towards.
Yeah.
I have a model, a clay sculpt of one of the demon dogs from Ghostbusters.
Nice.
That I did. And one of the things I've been trying to do is find a place that can do lost wax casting. To cast the wax as a figure. It may have gotten lost in the move, unfortunately, or melted in the move, but those things happen. But I'd love it. I'd love to have... that's something I've really been looking into, is getting an aluminum forge back up going.
Yeah.
We actually have a pewter place right here in town that can do custom work if we wanted them to.
That's cool.
Oh, there's a place like that here, except it's outrageously expensive for that model that I made because of how big it is.
They wanted to charge me for something the size of a silver dollar.
Yes.
Or is it the 50-cent piece, the really big coin?
Yeah.
For something about that size, about $50.
Yeah.
For the detail work that I wanted to put into it.
Maybe it was the detail work, not so much the size.
Yeah.
But I consider that not bad, considering it was supposed to be a dragon pendant that I wanted made for my daughter.
And you said it was pewter?
Yeah.
Well, there is the danger of working with lead, so that probably went to the cost a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then they have this little area out in the back of the showroom where
Mhm.
you can stand there and watch the people actually make the stuff out of pewter.
That's cool. I wonder if I can scrape that off. I should have got my damn knife. I should have gotten my knife.
But yeah, I uploaded those pictures.
Yeah, I can kind of... I got my Discord up where I can kind of see it. And I saw a couple of angles. It looked pretty cool.
Yeah, I threw up 4 angles, front, back, side, and side.
If you threw up, you might want to go see a doctor.
Yeah, there is that.
Yeah, I know.
But honestly, most of my modeling and things like that has gone away since I've gotten a hold of Space Engineers.
Right.
Because it's cheap and I can do most of what I'm looking for.
No, your modeling hasn't gone away. It's just moved on to a new platform.
Yeah, you've changed mediums.
Exactly.
Yes.
All right, we got a wiggle tail. We got look at it. We got a wiggle tail. Wiggle tail. I forgot how loose all these were.
If it wasn't for fear of hijacking your stream, I would invite Daniel into Space Engineers.
There's no fear, really. I mean, content is content, to be completely honest with you. I mean, if this takes off and it gets to be its own thing, I mean, I'll probably not be in
On it,
community chat.
yeah. Well, honestly, at this point, what we're doing is not that much different than, say, a podcast.
Essentially.
Yeah.
And
So,
considering Fuzzy's
Hey.
got like 3 people watching him.
Today's podcast, models. Let's plug your butt back in.
I was a little bored today, so I rewatched the entire first season of Overlord.
Always fun. Wiggly tail, wiggly head. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
That's what happens when you clean it.
Yeah, actually. I'm afraid that with these wind-up ones, most of the little spring mechanism inside.
Yep. Yeah, those usually get dust in them and start to seize
Yeah.
up a little bit.
Yeah, I'm afraid that's what's kind of happened with most of these. And I've already checked all the battery-powered ones, and none of them even work. So the cogs inside may be completely seized up or corrosion going on inside.
Well,
Unfortunately,
when you store them, you're supposed to take the battery out of them. I did not know that when I
kind
was
of corrosion.
Oh.
I didn't have batteries in any of them. It wasn't that kind of corrosion. At least I don't believe so, because again, I didn't have batteries in them. But
I think it might be moisture corrosion.
yeah, because I didn't have them stored in the best way.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
they
look at all that water you got right there.
Mm-hmm. But they may be salvageable once I get in there and look at them a little bit closer. And if I do this again, I'll make sure to have my files and my modeling hobby knife on hand.
hopefully nothing crashes.
Oh, looks like Discord has an update. I'll be back in a minute.
Uh-huh.
On just a little more. Motors and steel plates, please.
Motors and steel plates. Oh, you straight up playing.
Well, I'm in the background doing some background work on my single player world.
Ah, gotcha. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot better on us with that assembler going at... What's the next level? 3 times? I think it's 3 times, isn't it? We'll look at it and make sure so I don't set the wrong thing. But that'll help out a lot.
Yeah. Once you're done for today, would you mind hopping in and just taking a look at what my single player world has?
Sure.
Okay.
I think they still make... I know Zoids, the anime, went for a little while somewhere in the late 90s and 2000s.
Yeah.
And that brought the craze back. I don't know if they actually still make these model kits.
I believe they do.
They might, but I don't think they're mechanized anymore. I think they're just like Gunpla models. I think they're just there.
You know, the mechanized ones are sold mechanized already.
Huh? Oh, you mean pre-assembled?
Yeah.
Well, that's a shame.
Or
None of my shit growing up was pre-assembled. Damn kids. They don't know the hardships of people who had to put their own damn toys together. Assholes. A whole lot of them. Except the ones who watch my videos. They're pretty cool.
Yeah, I already know I'm an ass.
Yeah,
well, welcome to the crowd.
you're in good company. But yeah, I mean, I know we are essentially doing a podcast at this point, but I mean, how does one even do a podcast, though?
Well, what we do is, since it's us, okay, what are things we're all interested in? Well,
video
games,
anime,
movies,
nostalgia in general.
Yes. What we'll do is we pick a collective topic. Like, say for your for March. Okay? When you did your March Mecha Madness.
Right.
We pick something like, we all pick either like one time we pick a cheap game, we pick an anime, something, or a movie or something to watch, and then we talk about it for an hour or so, and then once we get enough of a following, we open it up so that they can ask us questions, and we answer the questions as for the second half.
Right, but when I say how does one do a podcast, how do you separate it from just any other item on Twitch or YouTube? I mean, how do you advertise it? How do you present it? How do you separate it from all the other content? You know what I mean?
You create a playlist of podcasts. And like, to help advertise like, you could host it one time, then I host it the next, and you don't even need an image in your background, or not an image, but a video or something. Right. Most of the people that I have watched that do podcasts, they just have a drawing, and that's all that's up for their video, and they talk for 2 hours to 2.5. Bordering on 3 sometimes.
Yeah, I don't know if I can talk that much on one topic. I mean, I'd give it a try.
We'd have to figure out what exactly we're doing, but
yeah,
I don't think it'd be that difficult.
Well, it wouldn't be anything lost.
You mean we have to know what we're doing?
No.
A little bit, because most of it's based on opinion at that point. I mean, some of it we can talk about that would be fact.
Yeah, we don't want to be the local news.
I was going to say opinion's a dime a dozen at this point.
We could talk about news in, say, like, oh, did you hear about this new anime coming out? Did you hear about this new video game coming out? Did you hear that we would be interested in? Did you blah blah blah?
Yeah.
In Warhammer, they're coming out with a new Malice model. I don't know. I'm making this up, but
yes, I get it. I get it. Well, let's say, for the sake of argument, that we all agree, hey, let's do this. Let's try this. How would we start? Because again, I do need content here, other than just me fiddling with my fingers on the screen.
All right. Well,
as you're starting to sound like the bit of the mastermind behind it, and we're just kind of following in behind.
Fair enough. Well, one would need to come up with some sort of name for it.
Okay.
We'd also need to come up with kind of schedule.
Right.
And we can, I mean, it doesn't have to be streamed. We can just do it.
Record and upload.
But all it wouldn't have a whole lot of pressure to make it anything special, because it'd just be record, and that's what we run with.
Right.
We'd need to come up with a good image to use as kind of the background for it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've seen people that would have just used kind of a amalgamation of everybody's avatar.
Right.
That is the image that they use for their podcast. So, I mean, it's not that complex is not the word I'm looking for, but
okay, that's good enough. Little Gator's getting cleaned up and mighty nice, yeah. Looking good. He don't look all dusty. Not that you could tell from the screen because of how fuzzy it is. Well, hey, maybe that'll be fixed in the coming weeks. Maybe.
But I mean, that's kind of what I was. Just getting a topic would be more challenging, but that shouldn't be that tough.
It shouldn't be. The toughest thing is getting a topic that you can talk for that long about.
Yeah.
Another problem with that would be, and I could foresee it, is that we talk so much during that we don't have anything to talk about while in game.
True.
Oh, well, if we talk about a specific topic during the podcast, we can still do our general chat during the games.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm looking right now, and most of the animes that are currently out are hitting episode 13, which means that we're right at the end of the current season.
Mm-hmm.
Or the
And
mid
just about to
season stuff,
begin,
yeah.
and about to begin the next season with new animes and whatnot. And I have yet to hear about anything that's coming out this week or next week.
So I mean, there's a lot of topics out there,
Right.
and hypothetically, if we were doing this, we could cut what we actually talk about, and so I mean, we could narrow it down a little more. I mean, once a week, maybe. I mean, twice a week is what I've seen people doing, and they do reasonably well. So
Yeah. Oh, whew, you actually pop off. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh,
I
I
hear
just
that,
had a heart
and
attack.
like half a minute later.
God. Nearly 30-year-old toys and a foot pops off? Shit. That's where you give a grown man a heart attack right there. At least I think I'm a grown man. Can't really figure that one out yet.
Yeah.
How time is that? Yeah, okay, that's how far it goes.
Alright, yeah. I'm gonna grind these away.
Alright. Back on. I think we're ready to put these legs back on. So I started watching season 2 of Luke Cage on Netflix.
Yeah, I heard that was coming out soon. I just haven't gotten around to getting to it yet.
Yeah, it's
Season 2 of
Luke Cage.
on
Netflix. Really good, really raw. Very raw. They pull no punches. Just say that. But it's really good. It's actually really, really good. I really enjoy it. Season 2 has just dropped not too long ago, and it's not bad so far. Not bad so far.
Because the only thing I know about the season 2 is what I saw in the trailer, which is some guy who seems to have similar power to his comes up and whoops his butt.
Well, yeah, I mean, gotta have some kind of proper enemy. Otherwise, you're just walking around having a good old time.
just a good old boy.
But speaking of Luke Cage, his buddy, the Iron Fist, I have started watching that the first season.
I've heard that was not as good.
I can believe that. The first time I tried watching it, I lost interest on it on the first episode, and usually that's a pretty bad sign. If you don't pull somebody in with the first 2 or 3 episodes, you're probably not going to keep them.
It is the Iron Fist TV series was all over the place.
Yeah,
I watched it all the way through. Then I watched The Defenders, which was their kind of draw together for Luke Cage, Iron Fist.
Yeah.
What's her name and what's his name?
Jessica Jones and
Daredevil?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Daredevil series is pretty damn good.
Yeah, but didn't they only have like 2 seasons?
3, I think.
Is this the right stairwell?
I'll have to go back and see if I can catch up on the 3rd season then. But
yeah, because I think in the 3rd season, Kingpin plays a pretty strong role. I don't want to say much more than that.
Because I do know that The Flash was one of the series that I was watching, and then I kind of lost it in the third season. And now I'm hearing there's 5 out there, so.
5? I don't think there's 5 seasons of Flash. The last episode of Flash I remember watching, I think it's either the first season or the second season, is kind of a teaser of Gorilla Grodd. The last episodes I watched. Alright, let's clean up the weapons.
Oh. Good.
So, do you recall, D-Swank, when I got this? This is playing on memories and sort of passing thoughts at the time. But I'd mentioned that the new weird wolf called Wire Wolf for some damn reason. I guess they lost rights to the name. But the headmaster wolf transformer.
Yes.
I'd mentioned it reminded me of a Zoid, and I wanted a blue repaint of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have that model. I have that very model. That's the reason that actually reminded me of it so much. But it's one of the heavier wind-up models, as opposed to these lighter ones. Where did you go? Did you go there? You didn't go there. You went on to Jaws. You were Jaw missiles. Jowl missiles. There we go.
So yeah, I ended up seeing D-Swank's latest episode today.
I have not.
Yeah, I didn't do much editing on it. I don't think I did any.
Raw swank.
Yes,
Well,
I noticed.
The thing is, I forgot to put it together before the stream last night.
Ooh. That's unfortunate.
And I was tired, and I said, "Screw this! I'm just gonna."
Oh yeah, Took me a moment to remember what stream you were talking about.
The stream you were involved in? Oh wait.
No, he was
Barony.
playing Jurassic World.
Oh, that stream. Right. How far did you get? Which island did you get on?
Second one, but after everything crashed.
Oh no.
I went ahead and
Oops. Easy, Gator.
part of the problem is I was really into the game.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm part of the problem why it didn't the video didn't get done as well, was I was busy playing the Jurassic Park game.
Okay.
Even after the stream crashed.
I wonder if somebody out there has made replacement rubber hinky-doos for these things. So I've noticed now that I've taken them off and tried to put them back on, that holds them together.
Mm-hmm.
They're not holding all that terribly well.
One would expect that they would.
Well, yeah, I realize that. I'm making the comment for the viewers and for content in general. I mean, obviously, they're basically, I don't even think they're rubber. I think they're just like a rubberized plastic more than anything else. But would you quit?
At this point, I bet you could make your own if you knew enough about the rubber materials.
Probably, but if there are replacements or even official, because again, even though Zoids are not made like this anymore, they might have access to them somewhere. They might be able to get some. Maybe a bag of like 100 or so of them. And there we go. We have ourselves a fresh, clean, mean, and green armor gator. Get in there. Get in there. There we go. Rawr. Uh-oh.
I thought it was orange.
It's kind of red-orange. That is some serious problems if one of your main weapons is your mouth and you're sitting in it.
What?
Just look at the video and hush.
That just sounds bad.
All I can think of right now is Phineas and Ferb, the battle between Queen Elizabeth and the dragon when they go to Europe.
Yeah, a little spring's about gone.
Okay, this is not good. I cannot.
Oh well. But there's one down and probably more than a dozen to go. Because I've got 3 on my desk here. I've got probably about 14 of them to go through. May or may not continue this as a series and or podcast. But there is a possibility that I may bring modeling to my channel as a means of actually going back to modeling and having content for my channel. Because I haven't modeled anything in forever. So, I appreciate y'all two stopping in and saying hello there.
Hello there.
We're glad to.
I appreciate anybody that stopped by and spent any amount of time watching me fiddle with a little plastic model, and hope y'all come back next week for another Relax Stream, and if not, I'll see any and everybody come Thursday for the After Work Rig Relax Stream, which I may be playing something really, really stupid. I don't know yet.
Please play something really, really stupid.
Probably gonna play something really, really stupid, completely blind. So until then, y'all have a wonderful evening, and I'll catch y'all next time. Good night, everybody.